That is a 1080p video edit happening on a $130 SBC that on boot up sips a mere 3 watts of power. In addition to that, we have the LLM working on the NPU, Blender running FreeCAD after purchasing 4 of these with our own money, and a 5th 12GB version on its way. You would think the decision of whether or not this replaces the Raspberry Pi 5 would be cut and dry. Quick context, the Raspberry Pi 5 is the obvious answer when someone asks for a cheap SBC, except the 8GB version is currently going for $175 or up depending on the source, and sometimes with 0 in stock. And if you want any AI capabilities, you have to add the AI hat on top of that, which is another cost or expense that you have to incur. Enter the Radxa Q6A, Qualcomm QCS6490 processor, up to 2.7 GHz, Arduino 643 GPU, 12 TOPS Hexagon NPU on the die, 8 gigs of LPDDR5, gigabit Ethernet, Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.4, an M.2 NVMe slot, and HDMI 2.0. Same credit card form factor as the Pi 5, and $139 on A-Race at the time of filming this for the 8GB variant. Now, the reason we bought 4 of these is what we're about to show you next, because the most interesting thing we've built on this board is a voice assistant that doesn't phone home to anyone, and yes, it works.
Hey Peregrine, turn on all the lights.
Turning on all lights.
Hey Peregrine, what is the capital of Illinois?
The capital of Illinois is Springfield.
All right, that's the showcase, but you might be wondering how a $150 board is running an LLM in real time. So up next, we'll show you the demonstration that we've put together that allows us to compare side by side running LLMs on both the NPU as well as the CPU. The difference is obvious, not just in CPU utilization, but also in power consumption. AI is the obvious headline, but this is also a real computer. So next up, we'll show you what else it does. Quick tour of the boring proofs. Kdenlive, the same editor we use to cut these videos. This is not going to be your high-end media studio. However, if you are editing 1080p footage, you can drop that right into the timeline without the need for a proxy. And cuts, edits, and playback are nice and smooth. If you're editing 4K footage, it's still possible with the use of proxies. And when you render back out, it will get encoded to either H.264 or H.265. Blender with EEVEE, the Adreno 643 is not a desktop graphics card, but it is a perfectly competent Vulkan part of the real-time rasterizer. So viewports orbit cleanly on a moderate scene, and EEVEE renders come back in seconds, not minutes. Don't try cycles on either this board or the Pi 5. CPU cycles is a coffee break territory either way. But for EEVEE turntables, animation previews, 3D printable mockups, and field reference frames, the Q6A does the job. FreeCAD, the open source parametric CAD package. The assembly we're loading here is a real one. Multi-body, deep tree, constraints all live, not a demo cube, and on the board. Navigation is fluid, selecting deep into the tree is responsive, and changing a parametric dimension and recomputes come back in seconds, not minutes. And this is where we'll cash the credibility check. We've designed and printed 3 different enclosures for this exact board. The first is for our AI assistant Peregrine, which you saw the Jabra speaker attached to and we demonstrated earlier. The second one is Playbill. It's been sitting underneath the monitor throughout this video and has active cooling at the top. And then the third is a variant for our Headwaters Edge computer that relays CAN bus messages to MQTT. All of these designs and enclosures are available on trailcurrent.com as well as our GitHub website. So if you plan to use this board, you can use any of those enclosures as a starting point for your own design. They're all MIT licensed and open source and free for everyone to use. Which brings us to the part of this review that nobody else is going to give you, because this board has problems. Two of them are big, and the first one could literally fry your board. Hardware first. The thing that nobody else has told you about this board, the Dragon Q6A takes power two ways. USB-C with PD negotiation, which is totally safe because the cable physically can't be wired backwards, or a 12-volt pin header, which is separate from the GPIOs. You cannot feed 5 volts into the 5-volt pins on the 40-pin GPIO, and the silk screen is extremely small on the 3-pin header where the 12-volt power goes. It's also black in color, which makes it very difficult to see, so wiring this board backwards accidentally is very easy to do. The first issue that we encountered was when we placed a normal Raspberry Pi 5 hat on top of the board. Now, it's expected that since the GPIOs are actually pinned out differently than a Raspberry Pi 5, that you wouldn't be able to put a Pi 5 hat directly on the board and have it work. However, preventing boot was not an expected outcome. We had to go deep into overlays in the build that we're doing for our own image of this board and correct those there. Luckily, that work has all been placed on GitHub, so you can go and check that for yourself and apply it to your project if you run into the same issues. There's also examples out there of how to remap the pins to match what the Raspberry Pi 5 hats are looking for. So be sure to check that out as well. The Wi-Fi was the next issue, and it can disappear with subsequent kernel updates, so it's something that you need to be aware of. And again, our fixes for this are part of a DKMS module, and that is available on GitHub. But just be aware that when you're doing APT update or APT upgrade specifically, that Wi-Fi could subsequently stop working given the changes in the kernel. Radxa's own documentation specifically calls this out. I'm quoting here that using sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade command to upgrade the system may result in an incomplete update or system abnormalities. Next is probably one of the most frustrating ones. This board gets advertised with 12 TOPS NPU, and obviously we've demonstrated that we have it working. However, the selection of precompiled models for this board in LLMs is very, very limited, and you have to use Qualcomm specific toolchain if you want to try and bring in any other models. So if you're going to use this board, be sure to head to trailcurrent.com and our GitHub repositories at github.com/trailcurrentoss so that you can read the documentation that we've put together from our lessons learned, as well as leverage all the effort that we've put into the various applications we have for this board. Verdict: for $139 at the time of filming, you get a 12 TOPS NPU, a real GPU, hardware video encode and decode, although there are challenges with the browser compatibility of these, a usable desktop, and headroom the Pi 5 doesn't have unless you bolt on an AI hat. The Q6A software story is improving fast, but you will be reading documentation, looking at GitHub repos, and sometimes ours. We don't have an affiliate link for this board, so the only thing that we're asking you for is a click to trailcurrent.com and a time to read what we've learned the hard way. See you in the next video, and until next time, remember, it is your vehicle, your data, wilderness wired.